Hey guys, Neomis, and now for today's video on this Tuesday morning here in June, we got some good news. Albert Sambi Lokonga linked with Arsenal, as we saw a couple of weeks ago, but Arsenal had a bid rejected, at least according to sources over the last several minutes. It said that the young Belgian player Arsenal are targeting. We know that. I know I've kind of briefly mentioned it on some of my previous videos. Uh, but this time Arsenal have gone in for a bid from him, which is nice to see. It's nice to hear. The amount is said to be it's said to be over 15 million euros, but Anderlecht, the side that he plays for, are looking closer to 20 million euros. What we don't know is the details around that situation. So this is what I mean. So generally, when you're going to go in with an offer like that, you normally have like a base offer, and then there'll be bonuses as well. Now, the report says that the amount is more than 15 million euros, and it includes bonuses, but we don't know what the base offer is. With Arsenal's financial situation, I would not be surprised to see a situation whereby maybe Arsenal offered a base of, like, let's say 7 mil, and then maybe let's say 8 mil, and then maybe another 8 mil worth of bonuses. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But the one thing I will say is I do like the fact that Arsenal have gone in for this guy. He's someone that I've talked about briefly in videos, saying that, he can do a job. He's going to be our backup DM. This is why we're not going to get Basuma, because we're not going to spend 40 million on a guy that's going to be a backup for Thomas Partey. And when you look at the position that he plays, like, I'm looking at how he played this past season. He's mainly a central midfielder, DM type player. He gets a lot of assists for someone who plays DM, which tells me that the games that he is playing in central midfield, he is having an impact on the game. The part that I do like about him as well is that there were times this season where he's been captaining the sides, which was really good to see. Good for leadership qualities. We do need more of that in this Arsenal side. So I mean, I've never watched him play in person, and I haven't watched him play like in a game. Hoping to see more of a chance from him in the Euros. I think he got called up. Not sure if he made kind of the last 25 for Martinez's Belgian squad. But if he did, then I'm gonna do some research, check that out, see how he plays. But if not, still happy to see him come and play for Arsenal if he does come here, if Arsenal do get that deal over the line. He isn't the only DM that we're looking at. I know there were talks on Sander Berge, but let's be really honest, Sheffield United are going to be looking for a lot more, even with them going down, and their valuation of Sander Berge is a lot higher than what Arsenal are even looking to spend on Lokonga. So hopefully Arsenal could look to get the Lokonga deal done. Let's say, for instance, like 18 mil, something like halfway. Maybe increase the base. I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal's base is under 10 mil. But, Arsenal, increase the base. Let's get it done. Get the base to something like maybe 12, 13 million euros, with some kind of add-on, maybe like 5 million worth of add-ons. And let's get the deal done, because I do think, at least from the YouTube videos that I saw, from the stats that I'm looking at, he does look like a solid player overall. So definitely check him out. I believe there should be a link to a video on just like some of the many videos of a lot of scouting videos that people generally do on YouTube. And then finally, I want to talk about another player, one of our own, Nketiah. So it's been reported, this was late yesterday evening, about 6 p.m. UK time, that Nketiah has been offered a new contract. Now, I'm quite happy to hear this, and here's why. Because I know a lot of people right now are rolling their eyes and saying, no, we can't be giving Nketiah a chance, but hear me out. We have a young 22-year-old England international, well, under 21 England international, breaking records. Like, he's the highest goal scorer for England under 21, past Alan Shearer now. Very experienced, quite experienced. He's experienced playing games in Europe. experience playing games in cup games, in the Premier League, scored goals in all of those competitions, and we're just going to let him go for free. And he's a player that could quite easily, like if another team signed him, if a Leicester signed him, if a Wolves signed him, immediately Eddie Nketiah's value at least 20 mil. But unfortunately, we can't even get 20 mil right now for Nketiah because he's going into the last year of his deal. Now, this is the problem right now. Because Eddie Nketiah, even though he has a contract or contract offer on the table for him to sign, and he can go back and forth with the club to try to solve things out, he doesn't have to sign. And the talks are that Crystal Palace are said to be very interested in him. Newcastle are interested in him. Leeds, West Ham, Leicester have been reported to be interested in him. And surprisingly, Bayer Leverkusen are said to be long admirers of Eddie Nketiah and are said to be interested in Eddie Nketiah from January. And I have to say, if you're getting that type of competition and Arsenal Football Club are now just offering you a contract, you're going to be thinking, well, now it's in Arsenal's best interest to keep him. In my last video, I talked about homegrown quota. Eddie Nketiah would count as our homegrown quota. And I'll tell you this right now, this isn't going to do great. Not only is it not going to do great for this coming up season for Arsenal, but for the further seasons as well. I mean, we don't have many players coming through that I think are going to really be there from 21 and older. I think a lot of them need to kind of go out on loan. So keeping Eddie Nketiah, well, at least for the next couple of seasons, let's see what he can do. But sending him out on loan would be great rather than selling him. But the interest that he has, Eddie Nketiah must be thinking he needs to weigh up his options. So I do think that process for Eddie Nketiah is going to take a while, especially if a team like Bayer Leverkusen come for him. He has the potential of playing Champions League football, at the very least Europa League football. And you have to say that Eddie Nketiah will weigh up their options. So it's a good position for Eddie Nketiah to be in. Terrible position for Arsenal. You could smell the desperation on this contract offer. They're really just trying to keep his value up, see what they can do. It's a good thing that Arteta likes him. I like him. Unfortunately, I know that a lot of other Arsenal fans don't like him, but it's an interesting one to see how things go out. Hopefully a deal could get done, and then yeah, let's see what Eddie Nketiah could do with a loan away, hoping that he goes up and scores a lot of goals. If we loan him out to a team, he has to play first team minutes. That's what I want. There's no point giving Eddie Nketiah a new deal if he's not going to be playing regularly. I think now is the time. I've always said that 23 years old, that's when you should show your mettle, show who you are as a player. If you're not doing that, then I don't know what to tell you. Like for me, Iwobi, 23 was probably the right time to sell Iwobi. That's where you kind of knew whether he was no longer a young player at 23, but he still wasn't an old player and was nowhere near his prime. So it was that kind of right age to sell him. And maybe that might be the case for Nketiah, but I'm hoping that's not the case. Hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping that's not the case. But let's see what happens. So definitely, guys, leave your comments below on all my thoughts on Lokonga, as well as what do you think about Eddie Nketiah potentially leaving Arsenal, getting a new contract. What would you do in that type of situation? So leave your comments below. Let's get a discussion. And once again, thank you for all the recent comments on the videos. It does help the channel out. And please remember to like and subscribe. That also helps the channel out. And I will see you all next time.